Well, the baseball aspect is really an important part of the book and important part of the concepts of the book because it is so data rich. You know, baseball players are judged by this stat and that stat. And the stat that we grew up learning as little boys is what's the player's batting average and what's the pitcher's ERA, earned run average. So what Nate Silver was part of is a movement to recognize that these statistics, which were believed to be guiding principles of judging baseball players, are not actually the most important quantitative measures of a baseball player. There's some other baseball statistics, like, for example, a baseball player's on-base percentage or slugging percentage, which are just shown to be better correlated with success on the field. It took a remarkably long time for the baseball industry to come to terms with that. They now are largely come to terms with that. And another aspect of baseball that differs from nearly every sport, every other sport, is that the ballparks have different dimensions. Some are favored to the hitters, some are favored to the pitchers. And so if you don't have what we call park-adjusted ERA to judge pitchers, you're kind of limiting yourself in the judgment of a pitcher. A pitcher who spends half his career in a pitcher-friendly park is going to have a much better ERA than someone who pitches, say, at Fenway Park or at Orioles Park at Camden Yards. So one of the important concepts that the sabermeticians have advanced in understanding how to project future success of pitchers is the importance of the ratio of strikeouts to walks. So as a young pitcher is progressing in the minor leagues, if they can get a lot of strikeouts and walk very few batters, that's very favorable to their future success because they, quote unquote, have good stuff. If you don't have good stuff, that means you make mistakes. And at the minor league level, the hitters may not be good enough to punish a pitcher for his mistakes. But at the major league level, if you don't have good command of your pitches, good control, as evidenced by a good strikeout to walk ratio, you will be punished when you advance at that level. So the other interesting part about baseball in the book is that back in the day of Moneyball, there was a constant tension between the scouts who judged with their eyes and the sabermeticians who may never have seen a player but judged by numbers. I think the most successful organizations now have harmony between the scouts who see players, which is important, and the folks who sit behind a computer and crunch the numbers and is also important. So the best organizations recognize the importance of both and use these two concepts in harmony.